What you see now is the home screen. This is where the applications are accessed. What are presumed to be the most used apps are along the bottom of the screen. Starting on the right, we have iBooks. This app houses PDFs of our choosing. The main purpose of this app is for access to the electronic version of the guidelines. If you look at the top of the screen, in the center, just below the time, is a term. This tells you what bookcase you're looking at. To change bookcases, look slightly left and touch the Collections button. The guidelines are in the EMS Guidelines bookcase. If you select it, you will see the guidelines in the upper left-hand corner. Touch that and it should open up. This will open to wherever it was last closed at. You can get back to the table of contents two ways. First, by pressing the Return to Table of Contents at the bottom of every page, or by touching on the area around the page to bring up the options. By sliding your finger along the bottom, you can scroll quickly through the contents. The button just right of the Library button opens up a multi-page view that allows for quick scrolling as well. Starting at the first page, you will see the familiar sections of the guidelines. Anything in blue and underlined is a link that will jump you to the listed location. For example, if you would like to look at the PCP Quick Reference Guidelines, you simply press on them. This brings you to the table of contents for PCP Quick Reference. Select a title, and it will jump immediately. I have tried to include links inside guidelines to other guidelines. Again, anything in blue and underlined will take you somewhere else in the guidelines. Pressing the Library button takes you back to the bookcase. If you look through the Collections tab, you can find other interesting articles and references. If you have a suggestion for something that would be useful in the field, please email your supervisor the suggestion and they will get it to the appropriate person. Pressing the Home button will take you back to the home page. The iPads on the ambulances can be used as a GPS unit. To use the GPS feature, open the TomTom app with the car picture. When you first open the app, it will show you where you are. Press the List button towards the upper left-hand side. Touch the Navigate To button to get started. The top option should be address. You need to select Whitehorse, then type in a street name, or scroll to find the correct one, then do the house number. It will automatically go to the route option. Press on the right-hand side, and it will start to guide you. If you don't know the house number, but have a cross street, there's an option for that as well. The blue Cross Street button lets you select an appropriate street. To stop navigation, press anywhere on the map, and the menu will open. Touch Route Options, then Cancel Route, then Yes. This device will replace your Emergency Response Guidebook. The 2012 ERG is right next to the TomTom app. You can search by ID number, name, or guide number. If all you have is a placard, then touch the Browse Placards button. Find the placard and touch the appropriate guide number on the right-hand side. There's a user guide under References. This may be useful if you haven't used the ERG in a while. There's an extensive drug reference, simply labeled Drugs. When you open it, you will need to touch Enter Application. Here you can find almost any drug made, its class, indications, interactions, and toxicity information. This is a rather powerful tool. The only thing missing is pictures. There are other reference materials on the iPad as well. An EMS flipbook, a contraction timer, an ALS flipbook, Medscape, and others. There's also a pediatric reference tool. It's called PediSafe. This is based on the Brazil tape and is color-coded to match. However, all you need to know is the patient's weight. Select the correct weight range and the app will tell you the normal vital signs, equipment sizes, and medication dosages. This allows a quick lookup and alternative to trying to remember those pesky differences in kids' vitals. MedCalc Pro has many useful calculations built right in. Got a patient who's in DTs? There's a CWAS scale. Trying to clear C-spine? Canadian C-spine rule built right in. There's even a MAINS emergency evaluation score for determining if your patient has changed significantly during the transport. There are many others as well. Check out the categories or do a search. We've added a few to favorites that we feel may be useful to practitioners. Feel free to add more if you see something useful. If you want to know more about a calculation, touch the Info button and the app tells you all about it. For education and information, I've placed a few things on here. RSS Radio is a podcast app. I've added several podcasts to it, and you're welcome to listen to any of them. If you know of other relevant podcasts, please feel free to add them. Press the plus button on the top left-hand corner and either go through the categories or select More to search by keyword. Once you find the one you want, touch the subscribe button that's in the upper right-hand corner. Flipboard. Flipboard is an RSS feed aggregator. It takes information from blogs, websites, and social media and displays them in an easy-to-read way. I've added several relevant feeds that you can read at your leisure. I even made my own magazine that I'm populating with articles I come across as I research things for education. These all update automatically when you're online. If you plan on being out of internet service, you have the option of saving things for later. If you find an interesting article, you can do one of two things. In this view, press and hold the article until a menu pops out. Then select Read Later. If you are in the article, press the arrow button on the lower right-hand corner and again select Read Later. Once you have done that, you need to go back to the home screen and open the app called Pocket. Let it download the articles you added, and now you can read them offline. You can also add things to Pocket from the web browser, Safari. When you find something you would like to read later, press the button with the book symbol and hit Read Later. There are educational videos in the video app, as well as some kid videos for distracting children during transports. A few utility things to look at. If you touch the folder marked Utilities in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a few more apps. While these all work, they are not all things that will generally help you with patient care, so we've hidden them in this folder to keep them out of your way. The Settings app has a few things worth mentioning. Here you can turn on and off airplane mode. Airplane mode turns off all the signal generating parts of the device, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, etc. Use it to prolong battery life, or if you don't want any of those things to work. The Wi-Fi section is where you can hook up to Wi-Fi networks. Select the network you want to connect to, and if it needs a password, the iPad will ask you to input one. Here you can turn off all the notifications by turning on Do Not Disturb. And there are settings for other apps in here as well. We of course ask you not to mess with the settings without first talking to a super user. Well, that's it. There are many things on the iPad that can be useful. These are just a few that I have highlighted. Take some time to get to know these devices, as they can be extremely helpful. The iPad will need to be present on your vehicle during responses, as we are using it to replace the ERG, which is required by law. It will replace your GPS unit, your guideline binder, and the checklist. Eventually the iPads may replace other parts of our equipment as well, but for now this is what we have money for. If you have any suggestions for apps, reference material, education material, or other comments, please direct them to your supervisor or team lead. You may also contact clinical operations with thoughts. These devices are new for the ambulances. Please be flexible as we add features and material to them. iPads, a service provided by Clinical Operations.